Okay. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is a story time. Cling, cling. Yeah. I love that song. So, happy hump day. Today is Wednesday, February 10th. And yes, I know it's been a brutal day if you've been following the impeachment trial. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, we're going to cover what are some of the other stories of the day. Stories of the day. Zoom Kitty takes America by storm. Hilariousness ensues. Georgia is opening a criminal investigation into Trump's not-so-perfect call. Uh-oh. And Ben Sass dishes on what Trump thought of the riots as they were going on. Is a secret vote possible? Could that change the course of this impeachment trial? We'll talk about it. The impeachment trial day number 2 was emotional and powerful. Last but not least, that raggedy bitch, Josh Hawley, is in that segment. You raggedy bitch. Yeah, wow, it has been a jam-packed day. And I would like to help everybody, kind of decompress from that a little bit. It was intense. I forgot that feeling I had in my chest, that sheer terror, that we all experienced as it was happening. It was like, this is not, how is this America? This is like a third world country, the kind of things we're seeing. Excuse me. I do have some random factoids to sprinkle you guys with before we get into the nitty gritty of the show. Last night, I released a new blog post on my website. I totally forgot that I do a blog. I actually am a writer in real life. I don't just do funny little cartoony, the littlest president books. I am a writer at heart. And the name of my blog post was Stabbed by a Neighbor. The story behind that, briefly, is that I posed a question on Twitter asking, would you rather be stabbed by your neighbor, or would you rather be run over by and killed by a complete stranger? Stabbed and killed by neighbor, or run over and killed by stranger. So it's a morbid question, I know, and some people had big problems with it, and they had bigger problems with my analogy, comparing 9/11 to January 6th. And I stand by it. You know what? It's my opinion. I said this before. If you don't like it, just block me or, just keep on scrolling. You don't have to comment. But I personally feel, and this was expressed specifically by Stacy. What was her last name? I have her last name. She is Stacy Plaskett, whom I had never heard of before today. She's from the Virgin Islands. She was fantastic. Yeah, Juan, it is a random question, but it's actually not that random because the point I was trying to make was it is far, far worse to be attacked by your neighbor. To be attacked. You expect your neighbor to, borrow your rake or your lawnmower. You expect them to come by and borrow a cup of sugar or whatever. You don't expect them to stab you. You don't expect that. A stranger, as we saw today, an attack that is orchestrated by your own president and your fellow citizens is far, far worse. You expect our enemies from foreign countries to want to kill us because, frankly, we are doing a lot of killing. We are bombing people. We are drone attacking people. You expect that. You don't expect it from your own president. That's my point. That is my point, and I'm sticking to it. Something else I learned today is that Officer Goodman, everybody by now knows who Officer Goodman is. And we learned, Officer Goodman is the guy who was photographed, telling people to, before I continue, if you're enjoying my show, please do me a favor and drop me a thumbs up like on this video. If you are not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe. We appreciate your company. So Officer Goodman is a hero, but what we didn't know was that he actually ushered Mitt Romney to safety. I'd be surprised if by the end of 2021, Mitt Romney just goes ahead, doesn't just go ahead and switch his party affiliation. Really, I mean, what is the point of remaining a member of the Republican Party when they no longer stand for the things you stand for? They no longer believe in the values that you believe in. Let me just turn this heat down. It is cooking me to death. Excuse me. And another random factoid I heard today is that the Twitter CFO, was it Adam Kinzinger also? He also helped him to safety as well? Or are you saying Adam Kinzinger should change his party affiliation? Yeah, he's in the House, isn't he? He is, yeah. Thank you, Sinsanity. But according to the Twitter CFO, Donald Trump is forever banned from Twitter. This was not like a temporary thing. It's not like, okay, we're going to get past this crazy period and we're going to give you back your Twitter privileges. Nah, it's lifetime ban. So booyah! Take that shit and suck on it. Suck on it, Spanky. God damn it. You piece of trash. You rotten, dirty bastard, you. Yeah, let's see. Do I have a sound effect for that? Yeah. No more Twitter for Spanky. He can't even beef about his predicament on Pinterest. He's got nothing. He can't, his MySpace is not even allowing him in there. Yeah, so anyway, let's move on to, guys, just so you know, those of you who are regulars here, today is one of those chock full of content days. So unfortunately, we are going to bypass the roll call because that does occupy a big chunk of our time. I hope you forgive me, and we will do it again soon, just not today. Anyway, one of my top stories today, believe it or not, I think is necessary because who doesn't love kittens, right? So this was popping up on my feed yesterday, and I kept seeing this kitty cat face, and I was like, excuse me. I was like, what the hell is going on with this? Why do I keep seeing this cat in a Zoom call? And it turns out that some dude, I think he's a lawyer. Actually, yeah, he is a lawyer. He had a Snapchat filter on during his Zoom call. I'll just show you what transpired.
Ponton, I believe you have a
There he
filter
is.
turned on.
Look at
in
the eyes.
Video settings. You might want to
The eyes.
take a
We're
look.
trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can
Oh,
hear you. I
God.
think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it.
I love
I'm
this.
here live. I'm not a cat.
He's not a cat.
I can see that.
Oh my God. Epic fail for that dude. Yeah. So it's funny because our work culture has changed drastically in the past 11 or 12 months, where fewer and fewer people are actually going into an office to work. They are now staying home. A lot of them, the white collar folks, people who work in offices with computers, they don't necessarily need to be on the premises to do their job. So a lot of people are now telecommuting. They're doing their work from home on their computer via Zoom call. And if you were wise enough to to pick up some stocks in that company, the Zoom company, you're brilliant. And why are you even watching this show? I got nothing to teach you. But it just dawns on me, like, I loved that kitty. I love that kitty face. I wish I could do Zoom calls and just use that kitty filter. I would totally do that the more serious a Zoom call was, like, the crazier I think my Zoom filter would be. Oh, eponymous George with paw and order. That's clever. That's clever, eponymous George. I'm going to give you, yeah, that's good one. That's cash money. Wait a minute. Samantha Hawkins just says, this is a catastrophe. So I'm going to also give you that's money. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if more and more people started using silly or cute Zoom filters? So first, up front, we have the famous kitty filter. It will not purr, but the eyes will move depending on where you are looking. It's fantastic. It's easy to break the ice. It's a conversation starter. It will loosen the mood. Check out the kitten filter for Zoom. Next up, we have the potato Zoom filter. Looks like you are underground. You are just chilling out. You are a spud. Then there is the toilet paper roll Zoom filter for those days when you're just feeling shitty and you don't feel like cleaning up anyone else's messes. The toilet paper Zoom filter. The white tiger is when you're feeling particularly aggressive and you really want to take a bite out of your projects. Then we have the Chihuahua filter. I'm so cute. Makes me feel like going to Taco Bell and getting something to eat. Oh, and this is nobody's favorite Zoom filter. This is Spanky McDumbass, former president. No, not former, excuse me, still president. The election was stolen. We have the sun baby in the sky Zoom filter. When you're feeling particularly cute and sunny, use the baby sun filter. This one is a lemon head. I got nothing clever to say about the lemon head or the dog ears and the nose and whatever. It's cute. And here is a scuba diver. Scuba diver. And that is my Zoom, my Snapchat Zoom filter presentation. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think people need to lighten up a little bit, especially, we're all tense and stressed out with the shit that's going on. So I am happy to present these things to you. Next up, some of you may recall that Spanky McDumbass did indeed conduct a phone call with not George, that's his brother, with Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State from Georgia. And he was just looking for, I just need 11,780 votes. That's it. Just that. That's all I need. I need you to find it. So there's an investigation that's about to open. But let's just take a quick look at some bits and pieces from that call.
Based on all of this. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. Having a correct, the people of Georgia are angry. And these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
There's everything wrong.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
It's wrong.
Now, do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their...
Dominion, sue him too.
Machinery. Do you know anything about that? Because that's illegal.
This is Ryan, Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
But have they moved? Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
He's trying to Jedi mind trick him.
You should want to have an accurate election, and you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, I know you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You're off by hundreds of thousands of votes. You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense, and you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard. And
based on what he's heard.
Removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can. Both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Unreal. So yes, Fulton County is opening a criminal investigation into him. So now he's looking at charges, possibly federal charges. He's looking at charges from Georgia. And keep in mind, he's no longer in office, so he can't pardon himself for this. He can't really pardon himself for anything. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, nothing's going to come of it, but I don't know. Georgia's kind of blue now, or at least purple. And these people, Raffensperger and my man, what's his name? That dude who did those press conferences. They seem dead set on setting the record straight with the election process in their state. You know, they can't have shenanigans like this going on. It happened already with Trump. They don't want it to happen again. So I'd love to see Georgia take this guy. What's his name? I need some help from you guys. This dude right here. Gabriel Sterling. Thank you. Wilbur and Deborah and Johanna. You guys are fantastical. I love you so much. I do. So yeah, he could be prosecuted by Fulton County. He can be prosecuted by Manhattan. He can be prosecuted by the state of New York. So he's about to run the gauntlet with a number of different legal issues, and he's not even done with the impeachment trial yet. Now, speaking of the impeachment trial, I have been asking people about secret vote. I've actually been commenting. I think they should do a secret vote. What would a secret vote entail? It would basically give political cover to the GOP cowards who are afraid that their constituents will take it out on them if they vote to convict Trump. Now, excuse me, after yesterday and today, I don't see how any living human who was in that room, who heard the screams of horror from that officer who was being crushed in the door, I don't know how anyone, look at these three right here. All three of these, Lisa Murkowski, the dude from Pennsylvania, Ben Sass, those are three possible swing votes. They could swing, but they already, they're already swinging towards convicting him. They were the ones that voted with Democrats that this trial was indeed constitutional. Pat Toomey, thank you. Pat Toomey was that guy in the middle. But a secret vote would be very difficult to maneuver. So apparently there is a rule that you need in order for, so all of these votes are actually supposed to have a verbal aye or nay, right? And all you need is 20 people, 20 senators to object to a secret vote. You need 20 senators to object to a secret vote for it to not happen. 20. So let's say they fell one short. They had 19 senators says, no secret vote. Make it public. Dickheads, just make everyone's vote go on the record. Now, some people on our side actually don't want a secret vote. They want everyone to be held accountable, but then we don't get a conviction. If we have a secret vote, that drives the chances of a conviction, a narrow, slim, shot at convicting, drives the chance way up. Because then, then they have cover. Let's say all they need is 67 senators to vote to convict, and it's done. That means our 50 plus another 17. Now, the remainder from that is 33 senators. Those 33 could be anyone, but here's the problem. Let's say you had 19 senators who did not want this vote to be public. Who did not want this vote to be secret. Those folks are going to go out of their way to tell the press. And guess what? The press, you think they're not going to want to know just because it's a secret vote? They're going to be like, oh, no, we can't ask you that because we're the press. Maybe we should ask. We should ask somebody. We should ask them all. Was that you? Did you vote to convict him? And they'll be hounded by the press and those 19 people who did not want a secret vote. They're going to be right out in front saying, yeah, I was one of the 19. I wanted to go on record saying I support President Trump. And there's a bunch of other senators. I'm not going to say who from Alabama, Arkansas, but Arizona, the senators. I'm going to say, there's quite a few senators that did betray our beloved president and emperor for all time, Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump, and the J stand for genius. So it's not likely that there would be a secret vote, but I think, I think it's something that people should be talking about. Do it. Do it. Do it. I don't care who the 17 patriots are who decide to convict this guy. After today, guys, shit. The last few minutes of that presentation just had me so mad. The tears were welling up in my eyes. I was furious. So, yeah. Deborah Baldini said, secret vote for a secret vote. Wait. Let me find my... You made me laugh. You get a ka-ching. All right. So, excuse me. I mentioned Ben Sasse in that last bit about the secret vote because Ben Sasse of late has shown him to be in the mold of a John McCain, so to speak. I'm not giving that dude props much. But I'll give him a little bit of props. I will give him a little bit of props because he does seem to be unafraid. He's from Nebraska, I believe. Nebraska. Ben Sasse seems to have no problem speaking his mind, even when the subject is a taboo. And this particular taboo subject was the behavior of the former president of the United States. We should just call him number 45. During the insurrection. And I'm going to play a little clip for you.
He wanted chaos on television. I don't have any idea what was in his heart about what he wanted to happen once they were in the Capitol, but he wanted there to be chaos. And I'm sure you've also had conversations with other senior White House officials, as I have. As this was unfolding on television, Donald Trump was walking around the White House confused about why other people on his team weren't as excited as he was.
Excited.
As you had rioters pushing against Capitol Police trying to get into the building. As it was happening, he was delighted.
Delighted. Before I proceed, I got a question here from J. Frieder 4009, a name that I do not recognize, but the way the question is phrased, it's almost like they got something ready for me. The question is, are you giving John McCain props? That was not the intention of my statement. I was giving Ben Sasse props, but I know where you're going with this. If I don't know who you are, but it almost seems like your follow up is, because he's a warmongerer and and he's dead. So, he did a few good things in his time. He was a POW. Doesn't make him a hero. I don't like guys who were captured. He's a hero because he was captured. But I will give him props for the service he gave America and for standing up and doing the right thing for Obamacare. So I'll give him props for that. Meanwhile, Ben Sasse, he's a guy, like I said, he's kind of in the mold of a John McCain, a maverick, if you will. You heard the tape. He straight up came out and said that Donald Trump was shocked that people in his he didn't see the connection is all. Okay, Jay Frater, you're good. Yeah, so that was the connection. They don't all the time. They don't always march along with the party line. Yeah, he was talking to Hugh Hewitt when he said what he said. Now, apparently, Ben Sasse was talking to senior White House officials. He's a senator. He doesn't have to make this stuff up. They all know senior White House officials, and if they have the information, they have the information, and he had the information, and he said Trump was delighted with the chaos. That right there should be enough to don't mind me, I'm just playing with my head.
Bob, it's good to see you, buddy. How's that rash?
I don't have a rash, man. What are you talking about?
Whoa. This is what cerebral must feel like.
You guys remember Deadpool? Deadpool's head? Here he is. Let's see. I'm going to make him do some stuff here. No.
Nice. I'm ready when you are.
I'm going to make him say something.
Right. This just in. I've decided not to remove my tramp stamp.
Deadpool, ladies and gentlemen. Deadpool. So Ben Sasse could be a critical swing vote, and he could also help to convince other senators, of the right thing to do. Trump Reaper said that severed Deadpool head scares the hell out of you. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I don't trust Ben Sasse all the way, but I do believe him if he's saying that senior White House officials told him that he was delighted. He was filled with glee. It's unreal. It's unreal. That right there should be enough to convict him. It's not going to be, but the impeachment trial is in full swing, and this was day 2, and we got to see some more players. In addition to the folks we saw yesterday, Jamie Raskin and Joe Neguse, we also saw some extra folks who are on the team. And this was Joaquin Castro, Eric Swalwell, Stacey Plaskett, Madeline Dean, and Ted Lieu. This was an all-star cast of heavy hitters. Now, the one I wasn't familiar with was Stacey Plaskett, and she really did knock it out of the park with her presentations, plural, too. And I'm just gonna play one sound bite for you that has to do with what I was talking about earlier in the show.
When I first saw this model that was created for this, I thought back to September 11th. I know a lot of you senators were here. Some of you might have been members on the House side. I was also here on September 11th. I was a staffer at that time. My office was on the West Front of the Capitol. I worked in the Capitol, and I was on the House side. This year is 20 years since the attacks of September 11th. And almost every day, I remember that 44 Americans gave their lives to stop the plane that was headed to this Capitol building. I thank them every day for saving my life and the life of so many others. Those Americans sacrificed their lives for love of country, honor, duty, all the things that America means. The Capitol stands because of people like that. This Capitol that was conceived by our founding fathers, that was built by slaves, that remains through the sacrifice of service men and women around the world. And when I think of that, and I think of these insurgents, these images incited by our own President of the United States, attacking this Capitol to stop the certification of a presidential election, our democracy, our republic.
Yup. That was Stacey Plaskett. And yeah, I included that because she specifically spoke to the issues that I was discussing earlier today, earlier in the show about 9/11. She kind of started up with that, and she perfectly addressed the issue of being attacked by your own president. She did. And there were outstanding stand-up performances from the entire impeachment trial squad, the House managers. Ted Lieu had a moment that I saw somebody mention was not a PG moment. He said that he recalled the discussion between Trump and Pence when he was trying to convince Mike Pence to flip the vote in his favor, and he told Pence, "You're either going to go down in history as a patriot or a pussy." Well, that is not the case at all. That is not the choice. Mike Pence, for all of his faults, I definitely was not a fan of Mike Pence whatsoever. And I've often said he'd probably be worse than Trump because he would still do diabolical shit. He'd just be smarter about doing it. But say what you will about Mike Pence, when January 6th came, he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. And he did not have the power to change the vote at all. And people kept trying to explain this to Trump. Yeah, I don't care. You're going to do what I want you to do because, damn it, I'm the president. Let's see. There were quite a few things. Excuse me. They made it clear beyond a shadow of a doubt that Trump brainwashed his followers. He started even before the election. He started by saying, if I don't win the election, it's rigged. Like, what kind of shit is that, bro? It's rigged? What? That nobody says that. Imagine if the Kansas City Chiefs had walked into the Super Bowl saying, if we don't win the Super Bowl, it's rigged. That's nonsense. You don't stop counting the votes when you are ahead. You stop counting the votes when all the votes have been counted. But he sold them that lie for months and months and months. He also told them, don't vote by mail. You know, it's ironic. If he had told them to vote by mail, he might have won. But he was busy telling folks that the election is rigged. Who the hell does that? You're undermining the sanctity of our electoral process, number one. And number two, you are setting the stage for a lot of people to feel like they've been robbed. And that shit ain't right. All right. If you're going to play the game, play it the way it's supposed to be played. And that's not the way it's supposed to be played. And then after the election, he told them over and over and over, we won by a landslide. The election was stolen from us. And he even, as late as January 6th, was telling people that Joe Biden would be an illegitimate president. Never before in the history of American politics has that been done. So just the contents of his speech alone are impeachable. And they try to say, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't be doing this because he's no longer in office. But we actually did impeach him when he was in office. And we were unable to deliver the impeachment. Nancy Pelosi was unable to deliver the impeachment papers to the Senate because the Senate had been gavelled out. There was nobody there to accept them. Mitch McConnell is to blame for that. And that was intentional. You know, they're trying to say, oh, well, you know, why didn't you bring the impeachment impeachment articles sooner? We couldn't. There was nobody home. Nobody home. Eric Swalwell revealed that $50 million, this was something I didn't know, $50 million was spent by Trump on the Stop the Steal ad campaign. Ironically, they stopped payment on those ads on, anyone want to guess what day they stopped the payment on those ads? If you guessed January 6th, you are correct, Amundo. They replayed the moment that he refused to accept a peaceful transfer of power. That was that moment in the debate when he was asked, you know, will you accept? And he says, no, there's not going to be any transfer. I'm going to be the new administration. You know, he's already right there refusing to accept the results of the election before a single vote has been counted. They replayed quotes where he said the only way we lose this election is if it was stolen. They talked about the dead voter lies that Trump spread to his supporters, ballots under the table, the whole Dominion voting system thing, you know, all of that nonsense, all of those stunts were meant to build his crowd, to build his supporters up to a frenzy. An angry mob is what he wanted, and that was what he got. He was even retweeting his supporters who were talking about January 6th, you know, and talking about sending in the cavalry. Although he misspelled it, it was supposed to be cavalry. He wrote Calvary, which is a religious reference. Don't remember what it means, and I don't care. And Stacey Plaskett also pointed out that the permit to approve the march to the Capitol was not approved until Trump intervened. But I think the most striking moments of this impeachment trial today were the videos, and I think they should continue to play them as long as they have time on the floor, because those videos are visceral, they are emotional, there is no way you can watch those and come away with the feeling that, yeah, I'm going to vote I'm going to vote to acquit the guy who caused this. And right now, I guarantee you, right now, in that Senate, every single person knows that Trump is responsible. Every single senator knows this for a fact. And they are afraid. This is the worst kind of cowardice I've ever seen. I remember when 9/11 happened, okay? And I remember being scared. I remember being terrified of the terrorists. But I also remember a very random moment in my life when I was walking around downtown Brooklyn. This might have been September 13th, maybe. And like, I was vacillating between we're sitting in front of the TV watching and crying my eyes out. It was tragic. And then I remember walking around downtown Brooklyn and I passed by an army recruiting thing. And I was mad as hell. And I felt like, I should volunteer. I actually had that thought in my head. I would never want anyone that I love to volunteer for the armed services. I just, my son, ironically, ended up joining the Navy. He did a tour in the Navy, but it wasn't up to me. If it was up to me, I would have said, boy, stay your ass at home. But he's already a man and he's making his own decisions. But at that moment, September 13, I was still filled with rage. And I wanted some payback. I wanted to pay back those assholes, those murderous fuckers that attacked us, that flew that plane into the World Trade Center. So, cowardice, there's a difference between being frightened and cowardice, right? You can be frightened, but also be brave. And what makes you brave is that fear. What makes you brave is facing that fear and conquering it and acting and doing the right thing despite the fear that you feel in your heart. You do the right thing. That's bravery. Cowardice is knowing what the right thing to do is and running away from it. That's cowardice. And that's what the Republicans are showing us in spades right now. Last but not least, we got the "You Raggedy Bitch" segment. And under "You Raggedy Bitch," we are featuring today Mr. Fist in the Air, Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley, I'm singling him out, although I could probably include quite a few other senators, but this guy in particular, Mr. Insurrection Fist, he was featured in the Senate chamber, totally not paying attention to the proceedings, which I think is disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the people who died. It's disrespectful to the House managers who are making their presentation. It's disrespectful to the whole notion of being an impartial juror and actually watching and listening to the information that is being presented. This is one disrespectful asshole. And of course, he is part of the Sedition Caucus, the guy who infamously raised his fist in solidarity. I don't know where the hell that picture is. I should have had it in here, but he raised his fist in solidarity with the insurrectionists on January 6th. It's unreal how bad these folks are at criming. They always manage to leave a trail of receipts all over the place. There it is. Insurrection Fist. Mr. Hawley, you were seen in solidarity with the with the rioters. No, I wasn't. Yeah, we got you in a picture like doing that. I was just stretching my arm. See, that's what I was doing. I was stretching my arm. No, it looks like you were giving him the I'm with you fist. Excuse me. So, yeah, for his the part he played in the insurrection, he shouldn't even be a juror because you know damn well he's not impartial. There's got to be a rule change that if your ass is implicit and complicit in the issue that we are debating in the Senate chamber, you must recuse yourself and be replaced by somebody who is not complicit. Simple rule change because that shit doesn't work. At least half of those GOP senators that are in there are complicit in one way or another. Lindsey Graham, he's trying to save his own ass. Ted Cruz, him too. You know? But for today, Josh Hawley is our you raggedy bitch of the day. And I did promise that every day I would give you at least one dun dun dun. So, you know what I should have done when I announced that there was not going to be a roll call for the day? I should have said, there's not going to be a roll call today. There it is. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, Wilbur says Cruz was tweeting all day. Cruz is despicable, but we don't really expect that much from Ted Cruz, do we? We don't expect anything from him. He is horrendous. And Lori B says every one of them who voted against certifying the vote should be expelled. I agree 100%. There should be a total and complete cleaning of the house, but we know that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, it should, but it won't. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the littlest president. The littlest president is available on BrooklynDadDefiant.com. It's also available on Amazon.com. If you want to get it on Amazon, I will still be your friend, just not your best friend. But if you want to get it on the BrooklynDadDefiant.com, not only will you have access to my blog posts, my brilliantly written blog posts, but you will also be able to get this beautiful swooshy handwriting signature. Oh my God, look at how much I love it so much. This is a very swooshy, and people who like swooshy love this signature. And it also says in the blue ink, Hui Juan. Hui Juan. Oh, Trump Reaper is reminding folks to please plug this book on Twitter and Goodreads. I thank you so much, Trump Reaper. I totally forgot about Goodreads. That was something I had to learn about when I first published this book because I didn't know anything about book publishing or promotion or anything. And I think Wifey had told me make sure you get something on Goodreads. I got a few reviews on the Goodreads, so that's good news. It's very good. The Littlest President is starring President Barack Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Joseph R. Biden, and the R stands for ready to kick that ass. Who? Bladder Bear pooping. holding the puppet strings on Spanky McDumbass. Complicit Barbie. Rudy Giuliani. Gummy McJuicebox. Kellyanne Conjob. Stephen the Snake Miller. And there's that blurry thing again. I don't know why. And Mitch McTurtle McConnell. Ready to kick that ass. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our favorite page, because this is Spanky McDumbass. Spanky McDumbass is sad. He used to be rich. He used to be a businessman. He used to be a TV star. He used to have a Twitter account. He used to be the littlest president. But now Spanky McDumbass is in jail. How did he get here? Let's go back. I gotta say, I'm not being cocky. However, it is starting to feel like the wheels of justice, the long arc of justice, seems to be bending in that jackass's direction. So what's interesting, earlier today I posted a tweet saying that I thought that the officers who were injured in the January 6th insurrection should be brought in as witnesses. Not just them. They weren't the only people that were affected that were material witnesses to this crime. They should also bring Mike Pence. You know, his life was at risk. And Trump really was picking on him publicly. They brought a noose and a gallows to hang him. You'd think he'd be motivated to put that some bitch away behind bars. Even some other senators and people, members of the House of Representatives, they were all at risk. Each one of them was at risk. Have them testify to what happened. Have them testify. Testimonials are powerful. Anyway, I bring this up because the GOP doesn't want witnesses, and they've threatened for there to be a long, drawn-out impeachment trial, which I'm fine with, but the Democrats don't want to do that because that's possibly going to put, some speed bumps in the way of Joe Biden's agenda. And that's what we're focused on. That's what they're focused on. I feel like both sides believe that the outcome is already is already been determined. So it doesn't make a difference if they have a short impeachment trial or a protracted longer one, sadly. Anyway, when Speaker Fancy Virtuosi finally sent the articles of impeachment to the Senate, Senator Turtle McCoward turned the Senate trial into a farce. He refused to let witnesses testify. Does that sound familiar? And Spanky was exonerated without really being exonerated. He hid the witnesses. He hid the documents. He refused to comply. Spanky was relieved. But justice-loving Americans were furious. So I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, there's Turtle McCoward blocking the witnesses and documents. And there's Fancy Virtuosi giving him the business, standing right next to Adam Schiff. There's Spanky with the word "not" sharpied onto his forehead, so it reads "not impeached." And there's us in the background saying "remove criminal unfit." Now, excuse me, if Spanky is not convicted, a lot of people are going to be mad. The GOP's argument has been, up until now, oh, if we convict him, that's going to be divisive and blah, blah, blah. We can't unify, et cetera, et cetera. Look, that shit is going to happen regardless. Trump supporters are just going to be even more brazen if they don't hold the ringleader responsible. Look at that. President Trump has such power that even they wouldn't even convict him, and they had all the evidence and the videos and all that bullshit. Come on, get some of those rioters in there saying that President Trump told us to go there. I was acting under the orders of the president. There's plenty of them who said that, who are saying it right now. Plenty of them. Get them there. Get them on the record. But they don't want witnesses because Lindsey Graham threatened to stretch it out. God damn, I hate Lindsey Graham. I hate having hate in my heart, but it's still there, unfortunately. There's residue from Trump that's been sprinkled like Cheeto dust all over his acolytes like Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, Lindsey Graham, sellouts, all of them. And the crazy thing is, wouldn't you want him out of the way if you're in the GOP? Would you really want him to run again in 2024? Do you? Is that really what you want? Huh? You want your party even crazier, right? You think it's bad now. You want to let that QAnon thing simmer in your party for that long until there's no more sense of reality or justice or anything? That's what you guys want? Unreal. All right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Usually I do 2 pages, but I'm only doing 1 because I know I can see that you guys are anxious to get back to the trial, which started up again about 20 minutes ago. So, I got time for this many questions. This many. That's 3. 3 questions. 3. Eponymous George says, no punity, no unity. That's a good one. That is a really good one. Eponymous George, do you mind if I use that in a tweet or 2? Perhaps? That's a good one. I like it. I like it so much. Let's see. Oniyuri says, God says I have to forgive, but not to forget. Vote them all out across the board in every election hereafter. Here's what I hope happens. I hope what happens is, if he is acquitted, I hope that collective rage, it just kind of builds up and cascades into 2022. And that gives us the energy to vote some more cowardly assholes out of office. Luppy Girl says, what was in the paper that Rand Paul? Oh, you're clever. I just saw that. I saw that just before the show. It seemed like she's asking, what was in the paper that Rand Paul handed to Castor? How is it fair for a juror to be communicating with the defense attorney? Luppy Girl, you are so right. In any other situation, that would not be allowed, and that juror would be tossed. It probably was some kind of note, like Rand Paul is working with the defense, which makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever. It was some kind of note. I can't imagine what was in that note, but yeah, it's bullshit. Let's see. Deb says, just like Russia, BDD, that's what they want. Agreed. Watcher Soko says they don't want him to run, but they're afraid he'll turn the base against them. Yes, they are forever terrified of the primary. But if they were, if they would show some goddamn balls and show a spine, let me not say balls because everybody doesn't have balls, but everybody has a spine except for the GOP. If they showed that they had a spine, maybe their supporters would respect that. Who knows? Chrissy M wants to know, do you think Trump will be impeached again? Well, he actually has been impeached the second time. He has been impeached. Do I think he will be convicted? After today, I'd say it's 50-50. After today. Now, with that said, the Democrats have one more day of presentations, of presenting their case, and then Republicans have Friday and Saturday. So by the time Saturday rolls around, our short attention span nation will have forgotten the images of horror that we witnessed over the past several days, and they'll be bored into complacency. Whatever. I'm fine. I'm bored. What else is on TV? Let's see. And Trump Reaper says, BDD, can I sell some of the Biden stickers to raise $75? 75 to print more bigger stickers? Hey, Trump Reaper, that's your jam. Please do. Absolutely. Those are some fantastic stickers. So yeah, go for it. Go for it. So I have not been promoting my book. so I'm not selling that many. So I don't really need any stickers. In fact, I ran out of stickers in the last batch of books that I signed. Okay, guys. All right, one more. This is from Solid Blue Sister with the Solid Blue question. Your opinion, do you think Putin is looking at the impeachment trial and thinking this could happen to him or someone like him in the future? People around the world are tired of tyranny. That's a great question. I don't think Putin's worried about it at all. Putin has an iron fist on, he could probably be president for life. Probably, he rules with a very heavy hand, a punishing, unforgiving hand. So, yeah, not likely. It might be able to happen in smaller countries. I don't think Russia, though. Russia is that shit is. I think their elections are probably rigged. Theirs probably are rigged. Just a guess. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Storytime with BDD. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to mention, yesterday I got a tip from one of my viewers here. Cindy has made a donation to my PayPal. I wanted to say thank you. And to new subscribers, I see Graham Dawson and KC Connor have subscribed. So thank you, you guys, and thank you for the tip. I love you so much. If you must go out, please be sure to wear your masks, 2 masks, double mask it, wear your gloves, keep your social distance, 6 feet or better. That was terrible. And have a lovely rest of your evening. Please try not to get too stressed out. If the impeachment trial is too much on you, just change the channel. Listen to some music or something. Just chill out. Really, really pace yourselves on this thing because it's intense. So I will see you guys here tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. I love you all. Peace. uh. To my moderators, if you're still there, I see it's not politically correct. If you wouldn't mind, just give them a boot from the show. Thank you so much. I love you guys.